So today, we're going to dive into the really profound work of psychiatrist Irvin Yalom. We're going to uncover a hidden force that, believe it or not, shapes almost everything we do. Now, it's a topic we spend most of our lives trying to ignore, but here's the kicker. What if facing it is the actual secret to truly living? I want you to think about this for a second. What is the one power, this one deep-seated feeling that's secretly running your life? I mean, it influences your career, your relationships, your anxieties, pretty much the whole shebang. And the crazy part is, most of the time, we don't even have a clue it's there.
Well, that hidden force, it's our deep and usually unconscious fear of death. Okay, I know, that sounds incredibly heavy, but just stick with me here. According to Yalom, this isn't about being morbid. It's about understanding the basic operating system that's running in the background of our lives all the time.
Think about it. We live as if we have all the time in the world, right? We distract ourselves, we stay busy, we chase the next big thing. But Yalom argues that all this running, all this avoiding, it doesn't make the fear of our own mortality just disappear. Nope, it just shoves it underground, where it kind of pulls the strings from the shadows.
So how does this actually show up in real life? Well, it might look like you choosing a safe career over one you're actually passionate about. Or maybe it shows up in relationship patterns, like clinging to someone who isn't right for you just because you're terrified of being alone. And sometimes it's just that nagging, low-level hum of anxiety, or that feeling of aimlessness, like you're just going through the motions.
But this is where things get really interesting. This is the twist that changes everything. Yalom proposes this radical, totally counterintuitive idea. What if, instead of running away from this fear, we actually turned around and faced it? What if we dared to, well, stare directly at the sun?
This quote, right here, it gets to the absolute core of his work. The whole idea is that confronting our own finiteness isn't the end of joy. It's the beginning of living an authentic life. It's the one thing that can shake us out of our routine and force us to ask the big question, am I really living the life I want to live?
So let's be super clear about this. The goal is not to get obsessed with death or to live in a state of constant fear. Not at all. The goal is to use that awareness as a powerful wake-up call. Like an alarm clock that screams, hey, your time is precious, don't waste it.
And that brings us to the really practical heart of Yalom's work. How do we actually do this? How do we take this deep-seated anxiety and transform it into genuine awareness and ultimately purpose? Well, Yalom gives us a pretty clear path forward.
He lays out this amazing journey from anxiety to meaning, and it's all about 4 key shifts. It starts with awareness, using the fact that our time is limited to get crystal clear on what really matters. Then that leads us to connection, because deep, real relationships are the best antidote to that feeling of being alone in the universe. From there, we embrace responsibility. When you accept life has limits, you're suddenly free to truly own your choices. And all of this culminates in meaning, which Yalom says isn't something you just find, it's something you build piece by piece through your actions.
You know what's fascinating is that this feeling we've been talking about, it actually has a name, existential anxiety. This isn't your everyday, did I leave the stove on kind of worry. It's that much deeper unease that comes from wrestling with the big questions of life, freedom, purpose, and yeah, mortality. It's a totally universal human thing.
Okay, so you might be thinking this all sounds a little philosophical. But here's where Yalom's wisdom becomes incredibly urgent for us right now. Because when you look around, you realize we're living in a trap. The modern world is almost perfectly designed to help us avoid these exact thoughts.
Just look at this massive disconnect. On the surface, we've got thousands of friends online, but in reality, so many of us feel this deep existential loneliness. We're obsessed with being productive and looking successful, but our actual sense of purpose feels incredibly fragile, and our entire culture celebrates being young forever, which, ironically, just makes our fear of aging and the inevitable that much worse. It's this perfect storm, really. You've got the constant digital noise, the relentless pressure to always be on and productive, and this growing crisis of meaning. All these things combine to keep us running on a hamster wheel, actively discouraging the kind of deep thinking Yalom is talking about.
And here's the bottom line. Our modern culture of distraction and consumerism is basically one giant avoidance mechanism. It encourages us to run away from the very thoughts about our own mortality that, ironically, have the power to save us and lead us to a way more fulfilling life.
So how do we break free from this cycle? This is where we get to reframe our entire relationship with this fundamental anxiety. It's not about defeating some enemy inside of us. It's about learning how to transform an energy source. This right here is the ultimate takeaway.
You are probably never going to completely eliminate the fear of death. And according to Yalom, you shouldn't even want to. The real goal is to harness its energy, to let it be the catalyst, the fuel that propels you toward a life packed with purpose, connection, and authenticity.
And when you actually make this shift in perspective, the results are so tangible. You'll find yourself investing in deeper connections, not just superficial ones. You get a rock-solid sense of your own values, you start living more authentically day by day, and you build this incredible mental resilience that helps you navigate all of life's challenges.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. This awareness of our mortality, it's really a call to action. It's an invitation to stop postponing life and to live more fully, right now. So the question is no longer, what will you do someday? It's, what will you do today?